$5 your way with the Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the classic $5 box, the indulgent $7 box, and a whole new obsession in the $9 box, the Flamin' Hot Grilled Cheese Burrito. Try the Lux Cravings boxes at Taco Bell today.
The biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
They're still talking about it.
I think it's time to put the rumors to rest.
Showtime!
$30 million.
$30 million?
$30 million? $30 million?
That's $30 million guaranteed. 3 contests, multiple ways to win, no rate. Entry starting at $1,000. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Refreshing and goes down smooth. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
How's your day going?
Going good. Thank you again.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
Hey Bronco Nation, this is Shannon Keegren with Boise State Softball. Summer in Idaho is the best time of year. Rodeos, camping trips, and the hikes that end in views you'll never forget. At Lithia Ford of Boise, we're here to get you there. With a team known for incredible customer service, the best new and pre-owned inventory, and a commitment to making your experience easy, friendly, and fast. But here's the best part. Every purchase here helps support Boise State athletics through their NIL partnership and athletic sponsorships. See you soon at Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN broadcasts come from the Sun Cruiser Studios. Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth and easy to drink. Crack open a Sun Cruiser and let the good times cruise. Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise, and our major sponsors, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, RoadPaint.com, and the Blue and Orange Store. At Lithia Ford of Boise, we're proud to stand with Boise State athletics. Through our NIL marketing partnerships, we're investing in the future of student athletes. Lithia Ford of Boise, here to get you there, wherever that may be. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. Broadcasting from the Sun Cruiser Studios, here's BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
What's up, Bronco Nation? Early start today. Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com. Yes, the commenters are letting us know that we are early today. Billy watching from Minnesota. You're early. It was Monday. We figured why not? We got so much to talk about with Brad Bedell that we'd start 30 minutes early today. How we doing, Brad?
Good. How are you?
Good. Got a busy day for both of us, some scheduling conflicts. Wanted to make sure we could get a show on, and appreciate you, Brad, for making it work to jump on a little bit early today. But we're continuing our series of the 25, 26, whatever it is, most important questions, storylines facing Boise State football team in 2026. So we have a couple topics, one offense, one defense to talk about. We're now in the, less than a month away, Brad, 3.5, 4 weeks away from fall camp. So it's starting to get a little more real here. It's almost football season.
Starting to creep up, isn't it?
It is.
It seems like it gets shorter and shorter every year. It's like, oh, we don't have till they're not going to kick off again for 4 months. All of a sudden it's like, okay, we blinked, and it's like they're going into fall camp, and it gets real.
So what's happening right now? I know they're in they're finishing up the summer workouts. Are coaches rotating a little vacation time, or what's happening here?
Yeah, probably the coaches. A lot of them are on vacation right now. Players are finishing up for a little while. They're getting to the 13th. They're still in the thick of it. So they'll start getting their legs underneath them here in a couple weeks. Kind of not still lift hard, but, dial it down a little bit, get their legs ready for camp. Coaches will come back, start scripting for practices, a lot of meetings, that kind of thing. And then take it from there and then start install. That'll be a big one. They'll start installing for fall camp so they can hear it again when they restart install for fall camp. So
they walk through
that week.
Most people don't realize that, but I mean, most of the actual practices for like the first week or two, right? They literally have pretty much all those. They run through that in July or whatever, at least in terms of the official team like plays and script and all that kind of stuff. So when they're running all these plays at the first practice, they've actually walked through them at least over the summer.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them. Yeah, you try to script everything you're going to see, but you're trying to mix in a couple of your future opponents too. So like an Oregon practice, a game 2 practice, you really don't go past game 3 because you're going to start to see more upcoming film on that. And especially if there's coordinator changes, which I don't have the schedule in front of me, but you're trying to dig and, okay, what did he run at all of his spots? And so you're working on game planning so that it doesn't become monotonous because you're just going against your defense all the time. But it's getting your schemes in, and then really working on blitz pickup for the O-line and running backs. That's a big one. And so they do that during their PRP practices, and the coaches now are there. Now that when they're not on vacation. So that's where it's kind of changed over the time. Now it's just a full-fledged summer thing.
And now you can do full-fledged, walkthroughs with the coaches and with the ball and basically walk through, like we said, the entire first 2 weeks of fall camp or whatever. So then when you redo it, it's not new crazy stuff that nobody's seen before. So,
yeah. Which is good because, for portal purposes, it's really good, especially for some of the topics that we're bringing up today, because there's been some big changes.
Yeah. And they had, I think, 15, nowadays most kids come in the spring, but they did have 15 kids, I think it was 14 that didn't get added to the roster until the summer. So there was, more than a dozen players, whether it be high school or transfers, that did not make it for, spring and we're not here until June. So that, it's not like the entire team was here. So, so they're doing all that, and we're inching closer every day to fall camp. Our series, again, 25 questions, storylines facing the Boise State football team, and so we're kind of hitting these topics and trying to help count down the days with everybody, Brad. And then August 4th or 5th, I think will be when they officially kick off camp next week. I don't know if it's official yet, so I'm not sure exactly what I'm supposed to say, but they will next week, it sounds like, have some sort of local media day. They're not doing the Pac-12 media days this year, just first year in the conference. A lot of logistics to try to get figured out the first year, but it might work out better for Boise State fans, because I think Boise State's going to put on their own kind of thing. And I don't know. We got to check your schedule, Brad. Maybe come down and hang out at the table and do some of the interviews with me. But we're going to get some of the coaches, some of the players to roll through live, and we're going to have a live broadcast down there at the Blameyer Center, hopefully for a couple hours, and talk to the coordinators and Eric Chenander and Nate Potter and Stacy Collins and Coach D, and then get 4, 5, 6 players maybe to roll through as well. So would I have liked to have been down there and met the Pac-12 commissioner and gotten to meet see some of the media and interview all these other coaches and stuff? Yes, but when you think about it, would Boise State fans rather hear from the Texas State coach or the Oregon State coach or, the Fresno coach or whatever, or, 6 players and 4 coaches from Boise State, at least locally on our show, maybe there's a trade-off there that we'll be able to provide some good local content Boise State related. So more details to come out on that, but I believe that's going to be next week sometime, a local kind of media day to kind of, and then things will kick off on August 5th. And as you said, Brad, a lot of storylines, and we're counting those down at BroncoNationNews.com. And one of those is on the cornerbacks. We briefly touched on this last week. I forget if it was Johnny or Prater, but we briefly touched on this topic, but it was actually Friday's topic, I believe. I want to spend a little more time with Brad. We're going to talk wide receivers in a minute. Who's the best wide receiver on the team? But let's start on defense. McCoy and Irby at corner, 2 all Mountain West corners. Who replaces them? How do you replace them? How do you feel about a pair of new starters there at cornerback for Boise State? Your initial thoughts on that question, Brad? And we've got Brad speechless. It looks like he is frozen on his internet there. Not sure if that's me or Brad, but we'll get back to Brad in just a second. So Brad must be frozen. We're talking cornerbacks, and then we're going to talk wide receivers. While we're getting Brad back in, why don't I go ahead and thank a couple of our sponsors real quick. Lithia Ford of Boise online, lithiafordboise.com. Check them out, Lithia Ford of Boise. They got that new pre-owned vehicles, you name it. The inventory, you can view it right there at lithiafordboise.com. Come on into their lot right there on Fairview Avenue in Boise and check that out as well. Again, Lithia Ford of Boise, some great deals. Spencer Danielson, Jeremiah Dickey, everybody driving their vehicles, and you can do that as well. I got some NIL deals with Roger Carrion and Matt Wagner and some other guys. So return the favor, Lithia Ford Boise. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. That YouTube chat is going. It's sponsored by ICCU. So we appreciate Idaho Central Credit Union. They got Pearson Carmichael back for another year. Best in the business, folks. The mobile e-branch online banking right there in your smartphone. Check it out. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. I think we got Brad back. It looks like Brad Bedell is rejoining us. So we'll thank Jackson's real quick as well. You can save $32 at Roaring Springs when you buy 2 Coca-Cola products from Jackson's or Extra Mile by Jackson's. Again, 2 Coca-Cola products, and you can save up to $32 at Roaring Springs. And don't forget that 99-cent fountain drink is going on right now as well when you use your Let's Go Rewards app. All right, there's Brad. We got you back. Yeah, I left you speechless with my question, Brad. Irby and McCoy, and now new corners coming in, some with experience, some transfers, a new group there, a new secondary, defensive backs coach as well, and Terrence Brown. Just your initial thoughts on replacing McCoy and Irby. Are you worried about that? Do you feel good about that? What's your take on the cornerback position?
Coming back from last year, we thought that was a weakness, and all of a sudden they came out to be a strength. The only thing I do worry is the corner position a little bit at times because if you're really looking at last year, I don't have the statistics in front of me, but, pressure-wise is you got to confuse the quarterback a little bit, and is that going to keep them in man? And if it keeps them in man, what the corners are going to have to be a big thing. Right. And they're redoing the whole thing. I mean, even if you look at their roster, it's all DBs now. So new coach comes in with a new philosophy, but I think there's a lot of length in that room, which is good. That's what they have to go to, going into this new conference and looking where the wide receivers are coming in at is, we used to think a 6-foot wide receiver was big, tall. Now you're looking at 6'2", 6'3", so the corner spot's got to get longer too. And they did a nice job of that. They did bring in some kids. I'm interested also to see where, and I don't know the new corners coach or the DBs coach, so forgive me on that, but, the other guys that I've been a part of, the good DB coaches, everybody went to corner. Said, hey, you're big and long. Can you play corner? No. you're going to go safety. And so I'm interested to see how that corner spot and how that competition at corner is going to go. I think they're going to be okay. I do think that the new guys need to get going a little bit early. I wouldn't be surprised if you see multiple. Like when we're watching practice here come August, if you're seeing multiple rotations against the top talent, the wide receivers, especially in one-on-ones, almost matching them, right? Like I want to see him versus him, right? Like Rashawn, I know we're going to go to watch season, but Rashawn came out of that spring as a really big time playmaker. I was like, okay, then let's get some of these other DBs against him in one-on-ones, in team, and let's challenge them to see where they're at. I think it's going to be a solid group. I really do. Could there be some growing pains early at the corner position? There might be. So you can protect corners and coverage, right? You protect corners and coverage. Safety purposes, they need to see and who's going to be the physical box player safety and rotation on cover or first down. They use a lot of that, right? With the kid who took off to LSU. Like I said, once they leave Boise State, I forget their names. But that's going to be important. That's going to be important so they don't have to sit there and just play cover 2 and cover 4. And so they can rotate to 3 and get the extra hat in the box because you're still going to see some big-time run game in this conference. Especially – so they're going to – but the other thing is like everybody else, they're going to be tested early. You got arguably one of the fastest teams in America week 1.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Sherrod Smith, an intriguing guy. Looks like he's going to be one of the starters. You know, he got a 4-game stretch as a starter due to some injuries and things. He was targeted 18 times during his 4-game stretch as a starter, but only surrendered 5 receptions on those 18 targets, just 60 yards, had 4 pass breakups, and allowed a passer rating of only 41. And you'll get the course of the season. And again, he's a College of San Mateo transfer. Came in, allowed the fewest yards per coverage snap in the Mountain West, and was the conference's lowest catch rate allowed at just 33%, despite playing more than 250 defensive snaps. Now, again, numbers are a little
the other
skewed.
thing is, roster-wise, he's listed at 6'2". Mm-hmm. See, that's where, you know what I mean? That's where the coach came in and said, we want to get longer. So I'm attacking this.
Yep.
And that's a good example right there.
Well, again, and you know, did pretty good job when McCoy and Irby was out, you know, last year at times in his first season here after transferring over, put up some pretty good numbers. Like I said, you know, analytics can tell you, and you can, you know, shape those however you want to do it. But by some metrics was one of the best defensive backs in the conference, despite really not being he's the 3rd or 4th DB last year behind McCoy or Irby, but he's going to step into a role. And then Jaden Mickey, I've talked a lot about him on this show, Brad. I think he's ready to emerge as kind of a star in this conference in the Pac-12. And, you know, I'm not sure he's a defensive player of the year type guy preseason, but I think he might be a captain for Boise State. I think he's, you know, his 2nd year after transferring from Notre Dame. I think he's going to move more to corner this year. And I think that for me, just year 2 in the system, year 2 here. It looked like in spring he took on a bigger leadership role, and I know people are probably tired of me saying it on this show, but I'm buying a lot of stock in Jaden Mickey as being just one of the flat-out stars of the team this year.
Really? And with a corner position. Okay. You know, yeah, he had a good year. Most of his stuff came from inside, right?
Yeah, he played a lot at the nickel position last year.
Nickel position.
38 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, had a sack, 5 pass breakups, only allowed 1 touchdown in coverage. You know, pretty good grades and things, but he played corner at Notre Dame, you know, moved to nickel, and, you know, he played a lot of outside, you know, in spring, and it sounds like that might be the best spot for him. And so, yeah, I don't know.
It's always nice. It'll be interesting to see where they put him, because with the tackling ability and all that, do you put him in the boundary? Because that's where, if you find a weak, soft tackler in the boundary when you're game planning as an offensive player, you attack the boundary in the run game. Because the guy's going to just run on it. He's a giant wuss. He won't tackle. Now you put him in the boundary where now you're attacking him, corner fires, things like that, where he's a physical DB. You can really talk a lot of people out of running into the boundary because you don't block corners. You push crack to safeties. Now tackle. If he's going to continue to make tackles at that corner position, I would put him into the boundary.
And don't forget Kennesaw State transfer Jericho Washington is a guy that they like a lot, and then they brought in the transfer from TCU as well, Cam Jamerson. You've got Franklin Johnson Jr., who's been around for a couple years. Demetrius Freeney transferred in from Arizona. And played a little last year as well. So there's a lot of names on paper, but we'll find out in fall camp, I guess, how the depth chart starts to shake out.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that's what I'm saying. Rotationally, you got to get the Kennesaw State young man. He's got to be tested immediately, early. I know he did, spring, all that stuff, but he's got to go. He's got to go. How is he going to retain all the information? He's got to go. And so, and then that opens up with the move to corner. With Jaden that's going to open up the nickel spot. And see now. The DB coach got them all. So that's always I think that's a good idea, game plan and install wise. I think it's a good idea. But so moving him is going to open up a whole nother dynamic of finding a lot of production last year with him into that nickel role. So that's going to be because obviously the nickel was very active, tackles for loss, pressures, all that stuff. So moving him is going to open up a hole at the nickel spot, which I think they have a guy. You don't just move a productive player like that to corner without thinking, okay, we got a guy or two that can come in and at least match the production and the ability. So I don't know. I think they're going to be okay. They're going to be good. You just got to get through it a little bit, I think.
All right. You can read more about the cornerback position, how they plan to replace McCoy and Irby there at BroncoNationNews.com. That's question 17 in our series. And we're going to talk wide receivers here in just a second. I want to thank Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com. They just donated $1 million, folks, to Boise State. Return the favor. Treasure Valley Taco Bell locations, delicious food, great prices. It's quick. They've renovated all their restaurants and stuff. So the lobby there is just clean and nice and new, and it's great. So check out TacoBellWorks.com. Find more information and get a location near you, but visit a Treasure Valley Taco Bell location today. The Blue and Orange Store online at theblueandorangestore.com. The Blue and Orange Store, they got your 40th anniversary of the Blue gear. They got your customized jerseys. They got your bumper stickers, your car flags, your logo golf balls, all that good stuff. The Blue and Orange Store, again, online. You can order anywhere in the world, theblueandorangestore.com. And we appreciate them for their support of Bronco Nation News. Sun Cruiser, our studio sponsor. Pick up a Sun Cruiser. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser, whether it's the iced tea vodkas, the lemonade vodkas, so many great flavors. Pick up a Sun Cruiser today. All right, Brad, I know your time is limited here, but the wide receiver position, the question that will be posted here after the show, flat out, is pretty simple. Who is Boise State's best wide receiver going to be this season? There was obviously a lot of hype in the spring on Rashawn Jones, a local kid that had just a tremendous spring. You've got, Ben Ford coming back, missed part of the season with injury, but still, led the team in receiving touchdowns last year, despite missing like half the season. There's some younger guys, Cam Bates ready to emerge and step up. Maybe a Quentin Brown. You've got some other guys. Obviously, they lose, Chris Marshall. He's moving on. They've lost a couple other guys as well. I guess you could throw Matt Wagner in there as well in terms of just being a tight end, but could he still lead the team in receptions or stuff as well? So we'll throw Akeem Wright, Nitro Wright in there as well. Deanza college transfer, put up just amazing numbers at the JUCO level. Darren Morris, the transfer from Southern, I know also did some things. So a lot of names there, Brad. How do you look at the wide receiver position, how that depth chart shakes out? And simply put, who's going to be Boise State's best receiver this year?
The flip of the coin, to be honest with you. Oh, God. This should be the number one question is who's going to be the starting three, not the best. I'm looking at notes and I'm looking at rosters and all that. This is the one position group that I wish I had a better feel on. I don't. I just don't. I think, the Rashawn Jones kid, he had an unbelievable spring. He's a young kid. I think he's going to be very productive. I think a lot of this can be committing. So, okay, you asked a question. I got to answer it. I will say at the end of statistically end of the year, Rashad Jones will be number one. I am in my heart, and I think this is more of a fan and in how much I love the kid and all that. I wish Ben Ford has an unbelievable year because I think the young man deserves it, and he's gone through everything. And maybe I'm just being a homer right now, or maybe I'm just it's in my heart because you don't work that hard on coming back. I want to say he'll be up there, and then the other one that is going to be interesting is going to be the Cameron Bates kid, and I want to know where they play him. That's where I want to know. I want to know where they play him. I think he's more a slot kid. He's 5'10", right? See where he goes. The other thing I want to see, and I want to watch it in between the first three games with this offense, is how are they going to use formations to help Rashawn Jones early as being a young player, right? Can they stack him? Can they get him off of press? Things like that where young wide receivers may not be as strong as older ones. So can you kind of not allow him to press and jam and have to get off of all that? Can you put him in motion? Things like that where you can kind of free him up without him having to fight press week in and week out. It's going to be a challenge week one. I think that's going to be their corners are going to get in their face. And if he's sitting outside and they're just going to jam him and play man, I haven't looked at Oregon's depth chart, but I would say that their Oregon's DBs are pretty big. And so that's going to be a challenge. And I think it's a challenge on the coaching staff to where they can free him up and not have to have him play press all the time. But you don't come in and have a spring like he did if you can't play the game. I mean, that's just it is what it is. But
so you're all in. You're buying the hype. He's going to be. You said he's the star receiver right out of the gate.
Athletically, and what I have seen of him and things like that, athletically, I think he's the best guy in the room. Athletically, yeah, I think he's the best guy in the room.
And his receiver position, that's can you come in as a true freshman at wide receiver? And I mean, people say, okay, O-line, it's pretty much impossible. You're not the right size. You got to develop. Most of the time, O-lineman, redshirt, D lineman, it's tough as well. But I know quarterback's obviously a tough one with what's on your plate. But I mean, is wide receiver a position where you can come in as a true freshman and you know how to run routes and the plays, and you can come in there and have success?
Yeah. But I think that you got to help him formationally. You got to help him formationally, right? Now, I don't think I was going to say I think Ben Ford, one of these other young men, and I couldn't tell you who it is going to be right now, but I don't know if Rashawn Jones will have them run the most crisp routes right now, right? But he is a legitimate deep ball threat. He is. I mean, because he's got unbelievable ball skills. I mean, take the spring game with a one-arm catch for the touchdown.
Yep.
Right. I mean,
and he was doing that at one or two of those every practice.
Right. He's got unbelievable ball skills. He's explosive. He can run. But now can he identify coverages? Can he identify route depths, which is going to be good? Can he identify cutting angles and coming back to the ball so he doesn't get undercut? How are those little details in his route running through the summer to now? Okay. How is that coming about?
So I know you got to go to a meeting here, but real quickly, out of 10, what's your confidence level in the entire wide receiver group being either better than it was last year or just your confidence level as a whole in the wide receiver group this year out of 10?
Out of 10, my confidence level is a 5 to a 6. They're going to, I mean, if you catch the ball better, you improve. If you catch the ball better, you improve.
Okay.
Right?
But you still got some questions. This group's you're not totally sold yet.
No, why would I be?
Okay. Well, I know you got to roll to a meeting. I don't want to make you late. I appreciate you jumping on. We'll continue this discussion here in the near future, Brad.
Appreciate it. See ya.
All right. Brad Bedell, best in the business. He's doing some work for game one. If you need some athletic team uniforms or apparel, he can help you out, and that's his day job, and he had a meeting he had to get to. So appreciate him for jumping on. This room is so interesting. Ford, Bates, Brown, and Jones, Nitro, Morris, Favors, probably a few other. We didn't even mention Favors. Yeah. A lot of talent in the room. Very intriguing. Yeah, I totally agree with you, BSU Bill. There is a ton of talent. It's intriguing. I just always struggle with the JUCO guys. I was on last night on Another Night Out West basketball show talking about it's so hard for me to project with the foreign kids. You just don't know how the foreign kids, some of them are 22, 23. You don't know the level of competition they're playing at. How are they going to come in, whether it be to a New Mexico or a San Diego State, and impact the game? Kind of feel the same way about JUCO kids. Like, yeah, Nitro Wright put up some amazing numbers, but he was doing it at a JUCO. And so, hey, Mike Sanford, good to hear from you, bud. Yeah, I need to get you back on. They're calling for ball talk. We got to find a way to make it happen again, Mike. The masses are wanting ball talk. We got to see if we can pay these guys enough to bring them back for what I guess would be season 4. We got to make that happen, but I know Mike's busy. But thanks for watching, bud. Personally, maybe as a coach, they can see it a lot easier, and they can see how tape translates and all that. But as media members, as fans, when we're trying to project, what does 1,000 yards at a JUCO equal and 50 catches equal, on a wide receiver at Boise State? Like, I struggle sometimes do you overhype guys? Do you underhype them? How do you look at a JUCO guy coming in his first year? Because sometimes it takes that first year, and then you wish you have that second year with the JUCO guys. That's when that second year is when you really see sometimes these guys take off. Buying the Nitro stock, think about his stats, no matter the level of JUCO. Guarantee you guys like Ben Ford don't produce as much as he did. I think the kid is being slept on. The Bronco Studios interview signals me they expect him to be an impact guy. Maybe I'm reading into that too much. No, they're not putting all 30 guys in there. I don't think so. See, there's probably something to that they see Nitro as being a guy that is going to be one of the main guys, I guess, or at least one of the guys all the fans are talking about. So, yeah, I think he's a wild card for me. Could he have 20 catches and it would surprise me? Probably not. If he had 50 catches, would it surprise me? Probably not. I just don't really know what to expect from him, and we'll see. And, the Rashawn Jones, if you're putting an over-under on Rashawn Jones catches, what do you guys think's an over-under this year for Rashawn Jones catches? Is 40 too high? If you're going Vegas odds on Rashawn Jones catches, are we going like 3 a game? Is somewhere in the 40 range about right? Or would you go lower, 25, 30 catches? I hate that the kid's got so much pressure put on him, and everyone just assumes he's going to be a 75 catch guy right away. I do wonder what a successful season for Rashawn Jones looks like now, given all of the hype and everything that has come with that. Hey, I do want to thank Matt Bauscher. Bauscher Real Estate, #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. 252-9877. We bought and sold our home with Matt and his team. Tremendous customer service every step of the way. You can do the same, and you will not be disappointed. Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. Signature Roofing, online at mysignatureroofing.com. Whether it's a re-roof, a repair, whether it's an inspection, estimate, all your roofing needs, hit up Signature Roofing, covering our community one roof at a time. They've been doing it for more than 2 decades, folks. We had somebody in the chat last week say they had a roof from Signature Roofing and loved it, and so we know you'll feel the same way. Signature Roofing, online, mysignatureroofing.com. Element Fencing, same goes for them, 631-2790, 25-plus years in the fencing business. Element Fencing, whether you're looking for a new fence, repair to your fence, all your fencing needs, they can do decks, pergolas as well. Check them out online, elementfencing.com. Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. Love the Star location. They got Cuna, Middleton, Treasure Valley, Magic Valley, McCall, like 30 locations in all. So think local, think Idaho based company that supports the local community and teams. That's Ridley's Family Markets, online at shopridleys.com. Rowpaint.com as well. All your painting needs, whether it's those interior, exterior painting, the touch up on a wall, that painter for a day project where you supply the paint and they supply the painter. You can get a couple walls painted if you have some touch ups you need to do. And of course, those world famous concrete coatings that can transform the look of that ugly concrete slab in just one day with your garage, your basement, your back patio. So hit them up. Best in the business at rowpaint.com. And another plug for the Horseshoe Collective basketball camp. It's this weekend. They got a few spots left. Horseshoecamps.com. Horseshoecamps.com. It's Saturday and Sunday. It's 9 to noon. You get to hang out like my son did at the last camp with some Boise State basketball players. You get a shirt. And these are not those big camps where there's 300 kids there, folks. There's like 30 or 40 kids. They do it on purpose. It's smaller groups. And that means you get more one-on-one time and in skill instruction and, personal time to chat with these players on Boise State. So if you're if your son's a basketball player, a basketball fan, if you're wanting some, instruction, some skill, and frankly, if you want to help support Boise State and get these players paid, these players get paid directly based on how many kids show up for these camps. So they get a direct portion of your kids' entry fee here goes to pay these players and help give some NIL money to these players. So if you're have a kid that's playing basketball, I think it's grades 3 through 8. You can check them out again at horseshoebasketballcamps.com. Horseshoecamps.com, I believe, is the website. We'll throw it back up here one more time. Horseshoecamps.com. It's Saturday and Sunday. And they had the first camp was awesome. My son Naismith really enjoyed it. Looking to take my younger son Nelson to this camp, so maybe we'll see some of you down there. But tell them you heard about it on BNN. That goes a long way, folks. Horseshoecamps.com. And if you have any other questions or anything, reach out to me individually, and I can help get you in the right direction. All right. Did I see a tweet about the Big 12 being in touch with OSU and BSU? Probably fake, but wondering if there's any legitimacy to it. I haven't seen the tweet, and my first thought is yes, it's fake. But if you tell me who said it and where we said it, I can look into it. But I don't think that's on the radar here anytime soon. Just to be completely honest, I could be wrong, but my first thought is that's fake. I hope it's not. It would be great to see him in the Big 12. I don't see anything popping up right away on my Twitter account. But we'll see. We'll see. I see Ward Manuel's in trouble there at Michigan. But no, I don't see anything popping up right away. But I do follow like way too many people, so I miss some stuff sometimes. But we'll see on that. Definitely fake off-season filter. Yeah, I would think it probably is. By the way, a couple of comments from my son. Must have seen it on Twitter. Yeah, my son Naismith, 11-year-old Meridian Youth Baseball select team. They won the Cal Ripken State Championship, and they are now moving on, not this weekend, but next weekend, to the North Pacific Northwest Regional Tournament, which actually is here in Meridian. So they're hosting it at Settlers Park, the regional tournament, and then they would clinch a berth in next year's World Series. There's no 11U, but pretty cool. My son, it wasn't a hit. It was bases loaded, no outs. There was a tie game in the bottom of the last inning of the state championship game, and he smoked one to the second baseman. He stopped it. It fell, and then they tried to get it out at first, and then the run from third came in and scored. So I think it was technically a fielder's choice. I'm not sure, but he smashed it and ended up being the not the hit, but the ball, I guess, that helped them score the winning run for the walk-off for the state championship. So that was fun. It was cool. And that's like their 50th game this summer for 11-year-old baseball. I mean, I guess it goes back to March when they were playing spring. So March, April, May, June. I mean, you're talking 4 or 5 months, 50 games. I guess that's not terrible, 10 a month, whatever it averages out to be. But been playing a lot of baseball, and it's been a long summer, and it was pretty cool that they were able to win the state championship and now go on to the Pacific Northwest Regional, and looking forward to that. Looking forward to having 2 more weeks of baseball this season for the boys. So definitely excited for them, and appreciate all of you that have reached out and asked about that. If you're coming on late, apologize. Brad Bedell had some conflicts, so we started this show about 8:30. So a lot of you just popped on at 9, and I apologize for that. But we started at 8:30 today. Brad Bedell had a conflict, and it was either start early or go late, or not sure what we were going to do. And I said, let's just start early. So we got Brad on for the first 30 minutes, and appreciate Brad Bedell for jumping on. If you did pop on late, we have you can go back and watch our discussion on the cornerbacks. And then today's question, which will be popping up at BroncoNationNews.com here shortly, the wide receiver position. Who is Boise State's best wide receiver going to be? Again, all of our stories you can read at BroncoNationNews.com. We have a 50% off sale going on right now, folks. If you're on the fence thinking about it, recruiting coverage is second to none. The game coverage, home, road, we'll be on the sidelines there at Autzen Stadium giving you a live pregame show. And, they're on the field as the players warm up and get going. So a lot of big stuff planned for this season, and appreciate all of you that have already subscribed. And for those of you that have renewed, make sure you figure out your Paramount Plus subscription and how to link that. There is a, once you renew at the full price, which a lot of you have hit here as we're in like week 2 of our second year, there's a way to get that free Paramount Plus subscription. You can go to the VIP message boards, and there's a post on there right now about how to link that over so you get your free subscription. And if you are new, you can take advantage of the 50% off deal right now. You get a full year of coverage, all the football season, all the basketball season, transfer portal, recruiting, all that stuff. And then when it renews this time the following year, at the full price, you will also get your Paramount Plus subscription included as well. So happy to be part of the 24/7 sports family, all the recruiting coverage you get, the rankings, the databases, so much stuff nationally that you now get as part of our national partnership with 24/7 Sports. So excited to be on year 2 with them, and hopefully as you're gearing up for football season here, you're going to go ahead and jump on in as a paid subscriber to BNN. So we appreciate those of you that already have. And I say it every time, folks, but if you're unable to afford the $50-$60, whatever it is for that first year, at a minimum, please support the sponsors. We've told you about them throughout the show, many of which you see on the screen here. Couldn't do this show without our sponsors, and please support the sponsors, and please let them know. That's even a bigger deal. Let them know that you're supporting them because of what they're doing for Bronco Nation News, and obviously for Boise State as well. So we appreciate them. And we couldn't do this show. I mean, these are free shows on YouTube, thanks to all of our sponsors, and we couldn't do it without them. So the other big thing I wanted to make sure I didn't forget to mention, the Circa football contest. We're trying to get a crew together to go down to Las Vegas. It's August 27th to 29th. It's week 0 of the college football season. There's even a Memphis UNLV game you could go watch at Allegiant Stadium if you wanted to that weekend in week 0. Otherwise, you could just hang out and watch it at the Circa pool at Stadium Swim. But open bar pool party, open bar happy hour with the owner, Derek Stevens, and the whole crew there for anyone that signs up for the football contest. Tom Carroll is our proxy. And I can't tell you how many people say, well, it's illegal, right? There's no gambling in Idaho. No, it is 100% legal. You use our proxy, Tom Carroll. It's a professional service down in Las Vegas. It's 100% legal. It's how everybody does it. You just go down to Vegas to sign up for the contest, and you sign up with Tom, and then he makes the picks for you every week there in Vegas. And so you have to sign up in Las Vegas, but you can play from anywhere. It's 100%, like I said, legal. And it's $1,000 entry fee. They're giving away $20 million winner take all to the survivor winner, $6 million in the pick 5 contest. It's a really cool deal. Get a couple buddies together, split the cost. And if you want to come down to Vegas for the weekend and hang out, we usually do a nice dinner at Barry's, the steakhouse down there. It's your perfect chance to check out Circa and check out everything they have to offer. And you get to watch some college football and not have to miss a Boise State game or weekend because it's week 0. My wife's coming down. I know Chris and Nathan, their wives are coming down too. And I know Brad and Kent Riddle and the whole crew. So you can come down, hang out with us. We'll be doing a couple live shows. There's podcasts and shows from all over the country down there. It's a really cool event that they do. And like I said, a lot of opportunities to mingle with the owner of Circa and a lot of folks there. So the pro football contest, here's a 30 seconds to tell you more about it.
The biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
They're still talking about it.
I think it's time to put the rumors to rest.
Showtime!
$30 million.
$30 million?
$30 million? $30 million?
That's $30 million guaranteed. 3 contests, multiple ways to win, no rate. Entry starting at $1,000. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
Again, join us week 0. Let me know if you're going. I can help you get 50% off your rate. Again, 50% off your hotel rate at Circa. You can also get a free room at the D for your stay as well. So reach out to me if you want a half price at Circa, a free room at the D. I can give you all the details on how to do that. And you sign up for the contest, and we can get you signed up, and you get to hang out and have a good weekend down there in Las Vegas. So hopefully you guys will take advantage of that. Hey, appreciate you guys. We're going to have Jay Tust on tomorrow. As I said, if you came on late and missed some of the show, we went about 30 minutes with Brad Bedell. We started early because he had a scheduling conflict. So appreciate you guys for that. And if you, like I said, if you missed it, go back and rewatch it. But apologize for having the late start today. We should be good for 9 o'clock tomorrow. We'll have Jay Tust joining us tomorrow. And as I said, stay tuned. I think we're going to get some details on a pretty cool kind of local media day that Boise State's going to put on next week. And we should have a live show with interviews with coaches, players. It's going to be a lot of fun next week down at the Blameyer Center. We'll tell you more about that coming up. But appreciate you guys. Sorry for the weird timing today. Go subscribe at BroncoNationNews.com. 50% off. Go read all of our content and our coverage. Go get the discussion board and chats going in the message boards. And give us a like and a subscription here on YouTube on your way out the door. Tell your friends. Go support the sponsors. And I hope you have a great day, folks. Appreciate you starting your morning with us. And we'll see you at 9 a.m. tomorrow. But first, of course, we'll see you online at BroncoNationNews.com.